Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and you're listening to another commentary video on League of Legends. What I'm going to do here is do something a little bit different. I've had a number of different games where there was a particularly interesting fight or there was a sequence of events that was really kind of cool to follow. But oftentimes that sometimes happens in games where maybe the whole game itself wasn't interesting enough to try to cast the whole thing. So I'm going to try to do some shorter videos trying to highlight different things. And this was one such game where that actually happened to take place. So this is going to be the first of what I hope will be a series of shorter videos just highlighting, individual fights or cool plays or something that really struck me. Let me give you a little bit of a background on what was going on here. We are very far into this game. You can see by the clock in the top right that we are 53 minutes into the game. So this is extreme late game. I am playing in a pre-made team again. I'm playing as Warwick because our team needed a jungler, even though I generally don't do a whole lot of jungling. I'm playing here with Cole, who's playing as Ashe, with Dansky, who's playing as Taric, with Mookie, who's off screen, who's playing as Akali, and then Nurglehound, who's playing as Anivia. And Nurglehound is one of the YouTube listeners who has been joined up with us and is now playing in some of our games. So nice to see Nurgle in this game with us. The situation is that we have been in a bit of a stalemate with this enemy team. We have been able to outkill the enemy team. If you notice, the score is 23-13 in overall kills. The problem is that the other team has been successful at pushing lanes. You can see they have more towers down than we do. They took 3 teleports on their team, and what they've been doing is pushing lanes forward, and then whenever we go to defend a lane that's not being pushed, they will all teleport together to a lane and then push it. And in other words, keep moving around the map to places where we're not and getting towers. So the game has been very balanced overall. We have the edge in kills, but they have the farming edge, and they've been successfully doing a lot of pushing. So we've been at a bit of a stalemate. With that said, I'm going to pick up the action here and let you see how this game finished up because it was a really kind of a crazy ending. So let me start up this footage. Right now you can see we have the Baron buff. We've actually taken 2 Barons in this game. The other team has taken 1 Baron. It's been a lot of back and forth. We also have an edge in Dragons, but the other team has out-farmed us, and that's part of the reason why the game's been so close. Anyway, we are pushing back this minion wave at the bottom. You can see there's all 5 of us here in the bottom lane. I think we were trying to get in one last push before the Baron buff ran out, but as you'll see, and now it's already gone, it's just worn out. So we are pushing this lane together with 5 people. If you notice, the enemy team is over there in middle, and in response to our push of this lane, they are actually going to counter push the middle lane. So if you look over there, you can see that there's 5 of them together pushing mid, and we actually ping that. By the way, for some reason, I didn't get sound recorded in this video. I'm not sure why, so you'll just have to listen to my commentary. Anyway, I am going to port back to our base to defend this, and 2 of our players are going to port back with us. So right there, but we're not going to be able to get back in time to defend our tower. So the situation is as follows. There's 3 of us here in the base. There you go. They take out our inhibitor as well. However, now let me stop here just for a second. Notice what happened there. One of their players went back to the bottom lane in order to defend their tower, and this was a really key play. Mookie, playing as Akali, and Dansky playing as Taric, were able to get a kill on their Mordekaiser, and that would end up being very key. So now we still have 2 people who are still pushing in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, inside our own base, there are 4 members of the enemy team and 3 members of our team which have gone back to defend. Myself, playing as Warwick, Cole playing as Ashe, and Nurgle, who's playing as Anivia. So it's going to be a 4-on-3 inside our own base. And meanwhile, the other 2 members of our team are going to be pushing that bottom lane. And then finally, we have a large wave of minions that's about to push the top lane, if you see that big greenish blob up there. So anyway, let's pick this up again. We've already lost an inhibitor and a tower. Now they're starting to tank another tower. But right there, I'm going to pop my ultimate on Janna. So I use Warwick's ultimate just because I saw that she wasn't back with the rest of her team. She was just unprotected for 1 moment. So I'm going to stun her with my ult right there for a couple seconds. And now watch what's going to happen. Cole is going to follow that up with an Ashe arrow and get in a further stun. And that's going to allow me to hit Janna one more time and get the kill. So now we've taken out Janna. Next, we're going to focus on the enemy team's Kassadin. You can see he's in the back there. He's taken a lot of damage already, and he's one of the big damage dealers on their team. Tristana's their other big damage dealer, but she's full health and still has a Banshee's Veil up, so we're going to focus on Kassadin. I'm going to hit after him next, and then in comes Nurglehound playing as Anivia. Right there, he's going to use his Glacial Storm, followed by Flash Frost, do a lot of damage, and furthermore, he's going to ignite Kassadin, and that's going to be key here. So if you watch what happens next, Kassadin's going to rift walk over the wall, but because Nurgle is able to get off that ignite, right there, the Kassadin player dies as well. So now we've killed 3 members of the enemy team. there are still 2 members of our team pushing in the bottom lane, and now the other 2 members of their team are stuck here out of position. Nurgle threw down the Anivia wall here, but the wall is actually not the greatest placement. It doesn't trap Tristana. She probably could have rocket jumped over it anyway, but it doesn't trap her. And you can see it doesn't fill up the whole jungle, so Mundo is going to be able to walk by. But the key thing is here is as long as we pursue, their players can't blue pill back can't recall to their own base. So that's going to allow the rest of our team that's in that bottom lane to continue pushing. So anyway, let's speed this up. We're going to chase these guys, and Nurgle gets off a pretty good stun with Anivia's Flash Frost, I think it's called. Now I'm going to turn on Warwick's Blood Scent, and that's going to allow us to follow Mundo wherever he goes. So we are just going to follow him and make sure that he cannot recall to the enemy base. And the whole time that this is going on, the other 2 members of our team are going to keep pushing. Now, like right there, they took down the bottom lane tower in the base, and then they took out the inhibitor. So now both teams are down to both down an inhibitor. Let's keep going with this. I'm going to continue to follow Mundo. He's going to cleaver me, but that's not going to do too much damage. He's regenerating life, but it's not that much. And now again, remember, as long as we stay on these people, neither the Tristana nor the Mundo player are going to be able to recall to base. I'm going to use Warwick's Hunter's Call, his attack speed skill, and drop that turret. And now right here, you can see we were going after the Tristana player. I catch her in mid-jump here. It's kind of funny. I bit her with Warwick's Hungering Strike to pop off her Banshee's Veil, and then that allowed Cole to start shooting Frost Arrows. Now, again, look at the positioning of the enemy team. Mundo is running off to the left. He can't get back to defend their base. Tristana is having to run away. She's already taken a ton of damage. She can't get back to defend the base either. And while this is going on, Mookie and Donsky are going to start taking down the Nexus turrets. So anyway, let's keep going. We are going to chase the Tristana player. I'm going to be able to see her wherever she goes, but we can't take that. Can't charge into that tower. Now, she's trying to retreat, the Tristana player, but look, in comes Mookie from the side, and there, I'm going to get off my ult, which has now come down off cooldown. And yes, the fight's been going on for quite some time, and then that's going to allow Mookie to get the kill. Oh, by the way, notice the super minion there? Yeah, they do have super minions because they took down our inhibitor. But anyway, it's not going to matter. With the rest of their team dead and Mundo unable to get back to their base, the 3 of us are going to push the Nexus, and we're just going to down it without taking down any of the other turrets in the base. So that was a very interesting way to end the game. Almost certainly looked like we were going to lose that one, but we were able to pull it out at the end. Anyway, I'll just pause here again on the results screen so you can see it. You can see the final stats from the game. Fun game, very interesting ending, very tense throughout. The ending was really worth talking about, but I didn't want to cast the whole 56-minute game because there were some very long and boring stretches. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I'll try to do this again some more in the future. So let me know what you thought, if you think this is a good idea, in the comment section, and see you guys later.